Programs, NeoMegaMan back again for part 5 of Let's Play Katawa Shoujo. Okay, I realize that these parts have been running slightly into the ridiculously long, so I'm going to stop doing that. I'm going to try to keep these down to about half an hour apiece from this point on. I should be able to handle that. Okay, with that in mind, let's get going. My morning alarm goes off, and I flail about uselessly for a while until I remember that I'd decided to give morning runs another shot. I don't know if this was my greatest idea, but I'm determined to keep going. This is about my health, after all. Sure, things haven't been great for me lately, but that hasn't made existence so intolerable that I'm not going to try everything I can to stay healthy. Besides, it's all about asserting some kind of control over this thing, right? If I can manage that, well, I can manage anything. At least that's what I keep telling myself. Once again, it would appear that I'm not alone in my run. Emmy has apparently been here for some time. Looks like she's already worked up a good sweat. Just when the hell does she come down here anyway? Oh, it's you! I'm surprised to see you again. Why's that? Well, not many people actually manage to come back for a second try. She frowned, seemingly annoyed by the passing thought. Like the rest of the track team, for instance. Still, it was only supposed to be on a volunteer basis, so it's not that big of a shock. And I guess it is pretty early in the morning. A shrug, and it suddenly appears that she's forgotten what she was talking about. The frown disappears entirely, and she seems to snap back to her previous train of thought. So, come on then. What? You're here to run again, right? Well, yes. So come on! I find myself suddenly grabbed and yanked onto the track. Things seem to be set on mirroring yesterday's run. That is, I seem to be struggling while Emmy moves with an effortlessness that I find enviable. It's incredibly bothersome to be so easily worn out. I know I should be patient, work toward things gradually, but it's difficult to stay positive about this. We round the track and start on our second lap. Emmy seems to have grown impatient keeping pace with me, and begins to pull away. This is where I gave out yesterday. Will I be able to do more? Okay. To get the rarest scene in the game, and it's literally the hardest scene to get to, you kinda have to already be on Shizune's path, which we are, and then try to take Emmy's path. Go for it. What am I doing here? Am I really just gonna fold and let Emmy pull ahead? I speed up. The second lap's done quickly, and without even considering it, I keep going. Emmy looks back over her shoulder at me and grins. Still going? Wouldn't want you to think I'm out of shape. Emmy laughs without breaking her stride, no less, and speeds up even more. Well, if this is the way we're going to play things, I increase my own pace as well. I can feel my lungs burning, and my legs are starting to question just what in the hell I think I'm doing. Lactic acid screams in my muscles, but I close my ears. I can't let myself fall behind, because that would be a loss. The rational voice in my head inquires mildly just when we started playing a game. I'd answer it, but I'm having a lot of trouble thinking at present. She's so fast! How the hell does she keep it? Uh-oh. It's like a string pulling at my chest, a choking feeling of narrowness and pain. Before I can think of anything else than, oh shit, the track disappears from under my feet. I stumble, one hand shooting down to clutch at my chest, the other hitting the track to keep me from falling on my face. Emmy whirls around and her eyes widen. Hisao! She yells at me, sprinting from the other side of the track. What's wrong? Nothing. Just keep your breathing steady. Calm down. Don't panic. Don't panic. Do you need me to get the nurse? I close my eyes, shutting out the outside world. Ow. Ow. My heart struggles to regain its rhythm. Slowly, the pain in my chest begins to subside. Soon, it's gone like nothing happened. It was nothing? No, something happened there. Back to caged heart. This is probably the first instance where we're going to see this particular music track. It's always very tense. I open my eyes again and glance at a very worried Emmy. I think I'm fine. My voice sounds weird even to myself, oddly even and matter of fact. It makes Emmy frown. I don't think you are. She seems to come to a decision and nods to herself. Right, you're coming with me. You gotta see the nurse. Emmy grabs my arm and drags me up. I feel a bit wobbly, but I refuse the shoulder Emmy offers for support. Honestly, I'm a little ashamed at my own weakness. I'd really rather not have Emmy concerned about me, but it seems too late. Heck, I'd really rather not have anyone concerned about my condition, though at this point it seems too late for that as well. I'd like to be able to deal with the whole thing on my own without being a bother to anyone else. While I'm wishing for things, I'd rather not have the condition in the first place. Nurse! Emmy crashes into his office without knocking, but it doesn't alarm the nurse in the least. Good morning, Sunshine. What's up? Sunshine? Anyway, he calmly sips away from his coffee mug, but lays it down after following Emmy's gaze to me looming in the doorway. Sal, what brings you here? We were running and he stumbled over and he started grabbing at his chest and I thought I'd come and get you, but wait. Easy there, Emmy. Calm down. Sal, what happened? I don't know. We were running, and then my chest started hurting like the time before, but it went away after a few seconds. It was just a flutter or something. The nurse frowns as if to say that just a flutter is some kind of oxymoron. I didn't mean quite this when I suggested you get some exercise. You've got to be more careful, Sal. I was being careful. Come to think of it, I just got into a race with a member of the track team. Doesn't seem as well reasoned as I thought it would. You just what? That is... I was racing Emmy. Emmy, is this true? Emmy fidgets, looking adorably contrite. Well... Finally, she can't seem to bring herself to say it aloud and merely nods. The nurse rubs at his forehead, or sighs and rubs at his forehead with one hand tiredly. God, tongue twisters. Emmy, you've got to be more sensitive to the limits of others. I don't know if he told you, but Hisao has a bad heart, and getting him to race you was incredibly irresponsible. Actually, I started it. The nurse is stunned by my statement. You what? We were just running, and Emmy started to pull away, so I, sped up to catch her. The nurse stares at the ceiling, muttering a prayer for patience to some god or other, and looks back down at the both of us. So you're both stupid. That's a comfort, I guess. Now come on, Hisao, I gotta make sure your heart's not gonna explode or something. I dutifully obey and follow him into the adjacent room where we ascertain that I am, in fact, not going to keel over and die. By the way, A-I-O-U. Huh. Interesting title for a music track. So how does it feel? I don't know. Nothing much. Tired, but it might just be from the exercise. You should stay here for a few hours and rest, and we'll see how you feel after that. I'm not going to object, so I lie down on the infirmary bed. A thoroughly miserable Emmy comes in after getting an earful from the nurse in the other room. I couldn't hear what he said through the closed door, but I'm sure it wasn't pleasantries. Look, I'm really, really sorry. I should have been more careful. Hey, you didn't know. It's not your fault. She looks awfully down and sorry, and my reassurances don't do much to cheer her up. I want to make it up to you. Again with that decisive nod. So you have to come to lunch with me. I'll bring it for you, okay? Something really, really good. I start with a you don't have to, but then just shut up and nod at her when I see her face. Good. We meet on the roof. We? Yep. The weather's nice now, so the roof's a great spot for lunch, you know? I see. You'll come, right? You wouldn't deny me the chance to make it up to you. Of course not. Great! See you there! I stay afloat somewhere between asleep and awake, feeling completely drained. Not only my body, but all of me is limp and paralyzed apart from my senses. I swallow with difficulty and then try to lie as still as I can, which in this state is not a very hard thing to do. The nurse is shuffling around on the other side of the curtain that he drew to give me some privacy. I can see his shadow shifting about in the sunlight. He's opened the window of the office. It's kind of windy outside. Clear white curtains flutter in the breeze in a heavy, lazy motion like waves. Light sifts through them slowly, half absorbed into the fabric. Shoop. I close my eyes. The breeze on my face feels like the soft fabric of the curtains. I listen to the sound of my heartbeat for a moment, try to shut out the sound of the nurse tapping away on his computer. and my own heavy breathing. It's steady. Damn it, not even a week and I end up like this again. I really screwed up this time. I should have known better than to play the half-baked sports star in front of a real one. And why did I try to act brave like that heart flutter was no big deal, even when it was obvious that it was? It was just a reflex. Push it away. Keep it inside. I didn't want it to happen. I didn't want Amy to see it. Stupid, stupid, stupid! I have to be more careful or I will end up in the hospital again, or worse. That's my final thought before I give in to the tiredness. I fell asleep. For how long? What time is it? I'm feeling a little lightheaded and I keep blinking compulsively. Pushing the curtain aside, I squint my eyes against the unfiltered light pouring in from the window. The texture of the canvas feels nothing like the wind did before. The nurse looks up from his work, sitting exactly where he was before. How you feeling? I can't really tell, so I don't answer anything. I'm feeling kind of groggy from falling asleep at such a weird time. Hopefully I don't look too weird. What time is it? Me croaking the question to gain some orientation. The nurse looking at his wristwatch before answering. Things seem to happen in slow motion. 10:15. I try to think for a moment what that means, but I'm not really sure. You didn't answer my question, Hisao. Oh, fine. Climb down from that bed then. Let's see how you're doing. Don't... Ooh. I try to do exactly that, only to sway dizzily when I move too fast. The nurse moves to support me by an arm and sighs. Stand up too quickly is what I was going to say. Just sit there. I'll check your pressure to make sure. My good intentions sure lasted for a long time. I shut up, embarrassed with myself, while the nurse gets busy with an old-fashioned contraption in my arm. After a couple of minutes, he puts it away, looking neither pleased nor unhappy. You're alright. Head stop spinning? Yeah. Good. How are the contents doing? You didn't show very good judgment out there, Hisao. I swallow the retort I was going to make. It's what I was thinking myself, but hearing it stated by someone else makes me want to protest. What he's saying isn't pleasant to hear. Doesn't make him any less right. No, sir. He nods, still looking as neutral as he was before. It'd be easy to be angry at him if he said I told you so or something, but he doesn't. I can try and help you keep your health, but ultimately the last call lies with you. Hopefully this little episode will be something that'll remind you of that. Here, a note for your teacher, to avoid an interrogation. I take the slip of paper he's offering and then make my leave, as I can't think of anything else to say, nor even really want to. Stay out of trouble, you hear me? I don't think it was anything but a scare, but next time could be different. I hear you. There is some way to get to the school building straight from the auxiliary building, but I'm not keen to find out and possibly get lost, so I go out from that exit, or from the exit I know works. I stop at the stairs of the auxiliary building, deliberating for a moment between going to the dorms to get my books and stuff and going straight away to class. The sun stings my eyes, so I head towards the dorms. The halls are as quiet as the courtyard was, naturally so since everyone's in class. I knock lightly at the door of 3-3, and push open the door when Muto calls me on the other side. Sorry I'm late. 15 pairs of eyes turn to me. Good morning, Nakai. Muto seems to be somewhat confounded by my coming in late, as if I interrupted his flow or something. Judging from the rambling lectures his classes tend to be, that might be the case. I pass him the note the nurse gave me. Muto takes it with a nod and reads it quickly. He lifts his eyebrows and gives me kind of a stern look, but doesn't say anything, just nods solemnly again. I shrug, and he gestures at me to run along, so naturally I do. Only 2 pairs of eyes keenly follow me as I walk to my seat. I'm not surprised in the least when I feel Misha's fingernail prickle through my shirt about 15 seconds after seating myself. Psst, where were you? None of your business. I know this is probably the worst answer I can give, as it only serves to pique their curiosity, but I have no energy to come up with elaborate cover stories right now. However, Misha backs off. She's unexpectedly fast to give up today. In a minute, she's back to poking me with her finger. Come on, tell us. Shi-chan's very interested too. Just wishful thinking. She talked it out with Shizune, probably devising ways to get me to spill the beans. No! She retreats to negotiate again. As a member of the student council, it's your duty to tell us why you're skipping class, especially if it's something fun. Okay, now, I will warn you here. If you pick the smartass answer, you die. I'm not going to do that right now, but eventually we will come back to a point like this. Probably not this one in particular, but it will be a point like this. This is the rare scene that I was talking about. This is the decision gate called Slow Recovery. Oh, and the music track is Everyday Fantasy. One I don't think we've actually heard before. Anyway, so this decision gate, very important. You snark back, you die. If you just give the flat answer that you don't want to talk about it right now, you continue on the path. Give up, I'm not going to tell. Is that so? Yeah. She thinks about this for a moment. That's stingy, Hee-chan. I can hear the pout in her voice, disappointed and downcast. She retreats again for a moment to negotiate with the brainy half of the dynamic duo before returning. I think we should have lunch together and discuss more about this, Shi-chan says. It's our treat. Besides, you need to make up for not being there in the morning, and we need help with the work. The other students around us are starting to give us looks, probably because Misha's leaning so much over her desk that she's almost bumping heads with me. Her curly hair brushes my neck. It smells like shampoo and very much like whatever she puts in there to make it go like that. I think the girl in front of me is trying to eavesdrop. Hope nobody's getting the wrong idea about this, though I'm not really sure how it would be possible to get any other kind of idea. Luckily, Muto stays oblivious or deliberately ignores Misha. So far. I can't really win this one, can I? I promised to eat with Emmy too, but I can't be in two places at the same time. You know what? I completely forget which one to pick here. Let me consult my cheat sheet real quick. Oh boy. This is a surprise decision gate. I think you just pick whoever you're actually going for. Right? I think. Ah, jeez. Yeah, I think that if you pick going to have lunch with Emmy and her friend, who we don't know yet, I don't think we'll find out on this path either. I hope this isn't going to screw me, so I'm going to take a precaution here and create a new save state. I hope I'm not about to screw this up on camera, because that would be kind of shitty, but I'm going to go with Shizune. Fine, I'll come with you, but get off my back for the rest of class, okay? It's a deal, Hee-chan. On the way to the student council room, I can see students walking back and forth through the halls, probably in preparation of their own projects. The festival's practically here. That means there's only two possible reasons that my help is required. Either there's only a small amount of work left and they just want a hand helping to wrap up the mundane final checks like they're obligated to, or there's a crap ton of work left, and Shizune's putting on a calm face as a torrent of built-up procrastinated work threatens to kill us all. I'm betting on the latter. Once inside the office, I look around and see that it's deserted. I guess this means there isn't a lot of work left, huh? Since there's no one here and all. It's always like this, Hee-chan. This confirms what I've thought before, but never actually been able to confirm definitively. Shizune and Misha are the student council. The whole student council. Damn, so it's true. The student council is really only you two. Shizune looks as if she's stuck wondering whether to be ashamed or explode with anger, and Misha is equally divided between laughing and trying to stop her. Well then, Hee-chan, you'll be happy to know that since it's just us three, we have a lot to do. A lot. That does not make me happy. But it seems to make Shizune very happy. Just kidding! It's actually not that much work, Hee-chan, so we can afford to enjoy a little lunch first. The two of them produce a small array of plastic containers seemingly out of thin air. It's chicken cutlet with tomatoes and soybean sprouts. Doesn't it sound delicious, Hee-chan? It was made just this morning and it's still warm, so eat! I take one of the containers and open it. It looks nice. Certainly smells good. The fact that I'm really hungry adds to it even more. Wow, this looks great. Where did you get this? Where are we at now? No free lunch, right. That isn't important, Hee-chan. There was supposed to be a stall selling lunchboxes, but the girl who was to run it suddenly said she couldn't do it. Shi-chan said, "What a waste! It was a lot of work to trick Hee-chan into making..." Oops. Hey, what the hell? So, Shi-chan wanted to see if she could do it, but then decided not to, right, Shi-chan? Shizune sulks angrily, shooting Misha a displeased look. I don't think I was supposed to hear that story. This is your test food? I'm eating it too, Hee-chan. And Shi-chan is too. That doesn't answer the question! Nevertheless, I split a pair of chopsticks Shizune offers me, pick up a piece of cutlet, and pop it into my mouth. We're surprisingly good. I didn't expect Shizune to be such a good cook. Shizune puts her chopsticks down to sign curtly toward Misha, who gulps down her cutlet with noticeable difficulty in order to speak for her. Hee-chan, don't talk with food in your mouth. It's not like I enjoy doing it. Anyway, how motherly to show that kind of concern. You can't even eat right, Hee-chan, that's all it is. It's a stalemate. I can't eat in order to talk to Shizune, who can't eat in order to chastise me for eating the wrong way. Misha, caught in between, is in the same situation and looks the most disheartened by how this is going. Either way, our food is getting colder by the second, and it wasn't piping hot to start with. Piping hot to start with. Wherever this is going, it dies down pretty fast, and once we all realize that, and we just eat. After a while, the bell rings, but Misha makes no attempt to tell Shizune, so I'm sure they're planning to skip classes and spend the rest of the day here again. Hee-chan, do you have any plans for the festival? No, not really. After all, I've only been here a week. What can I set up in that time? Hee-chan, you helped us out so much. Don't sell yourself short. Okay. We're serious. Okay. God, the two of them seem to get indignant over the strangest things. You're going though, right, Hee-chan? You should at least see what we've accomplished. Everyone should be able to look at what they've done so they can fully understand their work. That's my belief. You're no exception. Hee-chan, you should definitely go. If you don't have anything planned, then maybe we can even go together. You need a hand? If there's anything you need help with, I'm fine with sticking around. I feel much more at ease than I did earlier, my previous concerns and fears long gone. I'd forgotten about this morning's trouble entirely up until now, having fun with Shizune like this. Having fun with Shizune. Seems like an unfamiliar concept to think of, but looking back on it, I've really enjoyed the moments I've spent with Shizune and Misha these past few days, in spite of everything else. If we might be going together, then maybe I can afford to stick around a little longer. And I guess it beats class. Really, Hee-chan? Okay, we could consider this you repaying us for the free lunch. Great, this is really great. Really, really great. Shi-chan was hoping to bring this up again later anyway. I'm not reading all that laughing. That's not a free lunch at all. Normally I'd be angry or at least slightly unsettled, but my mood has improved from earlier on, so I'll let it slide. Helping them turns out to consist mostly of stamping forms and making what seems like 10,000 copies apiece of 50 different budget reports. It's not hard, but it's boring, and according to Misha, the simplest of the tasks they deal with. I feel myself getting more and more tired, and with that, less eager to return to class. This is especially bad because the more time I spend out of class, the harder it seems to just get up and go back. These two, they're a terrible influence, terrible role models. Not that it bothers me all that much, I'm sure no one looks up to them, but it's the principle of the thing. Done! Well, that was fast. I'll be finished before this period's over, I think. No, Hee-chan, everything's done, so you're done too. That doesn't make any sense. You're telling me all this is arbitrary and you've been keeping me here for the hell of it? No. But we've kept you long enough. You should go back to class, Hee-chan. You can still make it for the most of this period. What about you? Of course we're coming too. Of course we'll be right behind you. Reassured, I start heading back to class, but the period is almost halfway over, so I start thinking it would be pointless to halfway there and pass the difference between this class and the next drinking juice in the hallway. I keep an eye on the door to the student council room, but it doesn't open. What's taking them so long? Are they busy wrapping up my share of the work? Well, it shouldn't take so long unless there's more and they just wanted me to leave. The more I think about it, the likelier it seems. Shizune is, well, not an idiot, clearly. She's just unable to come out with things. Maybe it's because she can't talk, so it's harder for her. She has Misha, but all in all, it isn't as easy... all in all, as easy as they make it look, there's still a difference between casual speech and sign language. I contemplate going back there to check on them, but the bell rings and I have to go to class. They join me a few minutes later, and the thoughts I had in my mind before slip away in the routine of school life. By the time I remember, school's over for the day, and I'm too tired to do anything but go home, do my homework, and then go to sleep. Okay. That's the end of a day. That's the end of this video. I'm not going to push it too hard on this particular one. Somebody knocking at the door. Somebody ringing the bell. Dude. Anyway. So, that's it for part 5 of Let's Play Katawa Shoujo. Tune in next time for part 6, where we go to the festival. Pretty soon. Hopefully. And we'll be hanging out with Shizune and Misha. It's a good scene. Can't wait for it. Till then, folks, I'm your host, NeoMegaMan, signing out. End of line.